two things: flies and ignorant niggas. Let's get this party started. First of all, ignorant ass niggas is people, any person. I don't care what race or person you is. You're just ignorant and you don't know the difference. Get this party started, right? How young are you, bro? How young are you?
Just 25.
Oh man. Same age my daughter. She didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
You been living out here for a while?
Yeah, about like, I think 7 years now.
So you finished school out here?
I don't know, I gotta actually work on that.
Okay. Nothing wrong with it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a general educated dummy. You know?
Yeah, I feel that, man.
A GED is equivalent to a goddamn high school diploma. No matter when you get it, as long as you get it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what people are telling me on doing that stuff.
You can still go to college, you know? Once you get that GED, you can move forward. How far did you make it in high school?
How far? I said about like a ninth grade.
You can take the GED test and pass it. It's that easy.
Oh, really?
I made it past. I didn't even make it past the 5th grade. I got kicked out in the 4th grade. No, I didn't go to the 4th grade. I got kicked out in the 5th grade. 4th grade was the highest grade I completed, and I ended up getting locked up at an early age. I was in Mississippi. They threw me away, but I got my GED while I was in prison. I was able to take college courses. I got a bachelor's degree in theology. Got my associate's and bachelor's in theology. I'm a driver's license. So, you know what I'm saying? To move forward in life by the system, no matter what, you gotta have an education.
Oh, really?
Yes, you can't go past go without it. A lot of people think if you wanna be a worker, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're an independent mindset, you think you can create your own business, start your own business. You don't have to have a high school. No, you don't. But when you get to the how you say the upper nonchalance of the business, dealing with the banks, dealing with that knowledge, that understanding is very valuable and critical. And you can skip the steps, but it's not wise to skip the steps. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's okay to go step by step because you'll understand the full process and how it all goes. Some people that jump the steps, skip the levels, they miss stuff, and that knowledge is very valuable when it comes to experience. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So no matter how young we are, how old we get, we can always learn something new. And we can't move forward in life or do things that other people do unless we have our dots together as part of the system. Education, if you want to get a job, if you want to work at a good company, you need a high school diploma. You know what I mean? If you want to do something for yourself, no, you don't. But you still need money to make money. You know what I'm saying? And the best way or the wisest way, how do you say, to make money or to make fast money is to get a job, get you a couple good checks, get you a couple thousand saved up, and do and invest into yourself. You know what I mean? Or you can do it the hard way. You can go out, knock on doors, break yards, hoe yards, pick up trash. I used to pick up dog shit when I was a kid. And to this day, now that's a real business. People that go behind and make the sack of dogs. People houses in yards. You know what I mean? That's a real business. How you look at it? What type of business you trying to create for yourself? If you create a service and don't have to sell a product, then you can make good money off your skill. You know what I mean? That's the luxury. That's the how you say the good side of art. You don't need a product to make money. All you need is a pair of cookies. You know what I mean? So we're not dependent on livelihoods and trying to sell a You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that still automatically sells because it's a part of personal hygiene. To the mass of society, a lot of people really take pride into their personal appearance and what they look like, and how other people view them, what the perception is of other people. And because of trend and how do you say, in this human society, we have what we call certain people that if you dress a certain way, you view a certain way. And if you're able to have things that's outside the box and it look good on you, other people feel like it look good on them. You know what I mean? Influence is everything. I mean,
Oh yeah, it's on the road shit.
yeah, and a lot of people that how do you say that give out that perception really don't live that life. They just know how to perceive it, make people believe that that's what they're doing, that's the way their lifestyle is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Everything got
How people live off perception, lost lives, but
yeah.
they're living in the world. They're trying to be, and in our society, if you ain't got $1 million, then you ain't shit. You know what I mean? They only looking at they only try to follow the people that they feel like that can how do you say subdue their mental conscious of what they want in life. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, they're followers. They're not creators. They're not people that step out and pay to go out in their own path and create their own way. They need somebody to tell them so they can they never feel once they see something or inspire to see somebody else do it, then they feel like they can do it themselves. And it never fails. Give and take. It's just the intentions of what they plans are. And it's all kind of ways, come up with something creative. I see the cats, man. Resell Jordan. Anybody knows out there, there's more people than the average person that have a master's degree working for an incorporated company. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
For real. Like, you lose your mind, man. In our society, man, we gotta learn how to work smart. Work smart. Don't work hard. I tell everybody I try to work. I work us because we feel like we don't have to abide to that system. We don't need that. Oh, I can already do it. I'm already doing it. I don't have to do that. I don't. Like I got a little youngster, a little friend that I really got love for, but he's so ignorant to get his driver's license. You know what I mean? He had like 7 cars. All his cars they got taken. He finally, they catch him and finally take his car. And because he got pulled over, he's been driving since he was like 14 years old. He feel like he don't have to have a license. And I was just giving him a step-by-step process of what it would take for him to get in status where if he go to the court and get on the dockets for those tickets and go to court and tell them that you want to get his license, they'll give him a year to get his license and they'll suppress those tickets so he can get his license. And then once he gets the license, he's still gonna pay a fine for driving without a license, but they're gonna reduce it and he'll have a license. You know what I mean? And he never tried or nobody was there to explain to him the process it would take to even start the process. So in his mind, he'll never be able to do it, or he don't need it, he don't have to do it. You know what I mean? He tried to instead of facing his fears or facing his facts and trying to and I told him, I said dot, even if you do have to pay money or have a fine or whatever you need to pay, if you go to your DMV and apply for your license, they'll tell you everything that you need to pay. They give you a checklist. So then from that point, you know exactly what you want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a process because it's a step by step process. Once you get your license, that opens up the door for your good cool little job. You know what I mean? You might not want to be a worker all your life, but a good job will get you in the door to get finances rolling. And you know, to be stable is to be stable. To live in California, you got to be making $5,000, $10,000 a month, no less. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To be living comfortably. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, you know, they living below $5,000, below $4,000. They're barely making enough to pay their rent, and you know they think they really balling just because they got a brand new phone and car. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
you ain't never you squander in debt, and you think you really living. But a lot of people ain't living, man, and that's the system. It looks like they living, it looks like they got something, but you know they ain't pay cash for them homes, they ain't pay cash for those cars. All that shit is credit, and they let that shit build up, bundle up. People living in debt, and in reality, they squandered out because every check they get is going towards another bill they got on some other shit that they got to pay for.
Yeah.
And so as long as the system got you consumed in debt, and you can and your job can overpay away, you balling in California. That was pretty good. But in real life recession, that's why motherfuckers is going suicidal and blowing shit up or killing their wives or wives burning their ass up.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Because the
Yeah.
truth in life, man, they miserable, bro. They chasing Jason just to make, trying to chase the Jones and make everybody look like they got something. And they got shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, some niggas get it easier than like others too every time.
But the system is deceived to make you look at it. Like, you'll be surprised how far you can get with just a GED. You know what I mean? For real, bro. Just with a straight GED and a high. You'll get further than a motherfucker with a associate's degree, bachelor's degree. You go sign up for Amazon, next thing you know, you're an incorporated manager. You know what I mean? And motherfucker be like, how the fuck that happened? I got it is. I went to school. He don't deserve that. Like, they move motherfuckers up that, that you'll be like, damn, but really he moved up because of hard work there. You know what I mean? If you're a hard worker, they say hard work outdo talent for, any day. If you're a hard worker, bro, hard work always outdo talent. All you gotta do is keep working hard. You know what I mean? You gonna outshine their ass every time. And that's some crazy shit because it would seem like the smartest person is the most talented. Will receive more. You know what I mean? It's not real like that in real life. What you like doing? What you do?
Not much. Just like a boring guy, Work home, play video games, that type of stuff. Defense security, whenever I can.
Security.
Yeah.
Still close. Good position.
Oh yeah, it's still fun.
So even without a way, there's always a way. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And people don't understand, but it stagnates a person to be in that position for the rest of their life. And you'll see other people around you getting more, going more, and you are always, that's the whole circulation of life, especially in our society, competition. And life, even though life isn't a competition, it's viewed as one. And when you can't move it forward as fast as you see someone else do, and you see them working lesser than you, it'll make you feel some type of way. You know what I mean? And the system is really built that way to mentally destroy us from thinking forward or thinking more greater to create something more for ourselves. We stagnated in the thought of what the fuck. What the fuck somebody else got? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How the fuck they get it and we ain't, you know what I'm saying? And that's the crazy shit because in society, you know, they want you to be in competition, in cahoots with each other. As long as they got y'all, as long as they got us in cahoots with each other instead of networking and trying to grow with each other, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're gonna always find ourselves, you know, the best gonna always get ahead, but the rest gonna always be chasing places. They trying to figure it out. My grandfather used to say it's three types of niggas in this world. There's one nigga that make it happen. There's one nigga that sit back and watch the nigga that make it happen. Then there's another nigga that's watching both of them niggas. Watch a nigga make it happen and make it happen, and they don't know what the fuck is going on all along. And they stand in the whole process. They sitting there watching people get rich and watching the people spectate, but then at the same time they're doing that for themselves. So as people, as human beings, you know, especially black people, the only way we can fully live a abundant life is to be independent for ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For just working for somebody else, they ain't gonna never give you more than they can give you more than enough. So as long as you got enough, if you got more than enough, you don't need them. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because I've always, you know, being outside the box, I never, you know, I never been through a lot of the shit that a lot of people been through. I've never had a job before. I never, you know, there's a lot of things that I haven't done that a lot of people don't accept it or bow down to in life, and I never had to. You know what I mean? And because this was given to me at an early age, you know, my grandfather used to tell me, I'm raising you in the direction I want you to go. Now, if you go in your own direction and you get older, shit, at least I gave you something to keep you up. You know what I mean? What I taught you, you'll always be able to go back to, and you know, and be able to do something for yourself, even when you can't do it for yourself. And I never understood what he was talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he never made my uncle. He had one son. He never made him teach him how to cut his hair, but he taught me how to cut hair when I was 8 years old. Put me in his lab, started making me cut his hair. He was taking me to the shop all the time. Every afternoon after school, I went to the barber shop, and I started cutting, you know, all my friends' hair. When I was, by the time I was, you know, I want to say by the time I was 12 years old, 11 years old, shit, I was doing fades. I was, you know, what I mean, I was doing everything.
Oh yeah, it's a blessing.
And, my grandpa used to always tell me, so you can go, you can be a barber if you want to, but I want you to be better than a barber. I want you to be a barber, but I want you to be better than a barber. I want you to have more just like I did. My grandpa did. He had a funeral home, he had a church. He used to sell life insurance. He used to do all the things that, you know, I used to financially things that a lot of black people didn't understand back in the day. He did taxes, he had his own tax firm. But the church is the main revenue. Church that, you know, a lot of this customers, that's where you got a lot of your customers come members of the church.
Yeah.
And, you know, life is, it's about teachers. You got some that know, you got some that don't, and the ones that do, ain't gonna never tell the ones that don't. But if they do, they can go off and do their own shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so the secret of life, the secret of success, a lot of brothers, once they get it, they don't share it with nobody. You know what I mean? But you can get it and gain on your own. But you gotta find it. You gotta find it truly, if you truly, what truly moves you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta find something that truly moves you, something that you into, something you love and enjoy doing. And I'm a people person. I've always been, you know, the center of attention, funny man, all this shit. And that's what really, you know, keeps me afloat with me being who I am as a brother, you know.
Yeah.
Because of where I'm from and what I've been through, I do what I do now with universal heart. You know what I mean? I don't have no perception for race. I don't, you know, you can't pick a race with me and make me get it out. You know what I mean?
Exactly, brother.
And I tell a lot of people for a black barber, if I don't know how to do for everybody here that walks through that door, I'm not gonna make no money. You know what I mean? If I base my business strictly off, you know, black people or like I said, I got just a black business. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not gonna make no money. You gotta be able to cater to society, the whole society, every race, every color, every ethnicity. Be able to communicate with them and make them feel comfortable enough to spend their money. You know what I mean? We the only race that will go in the store and never question who own that motherfucker and just start buying shit. And knowing that, where our money goes, we spend our money with them, where they going to spend their dollar with. And they ain't coming back to spend that dollar in our community. They going somewhere else to spend it, send home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But if we was, how you say, if we had people that was smart like me, I would go into a store and see if that store making money and go into the black neighborhood and open up the same store for our people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Back in the day, it used to be like that. They don't make it real hard for people, for us to go into business for ourselves. It really, really you gotta really have a lot of money to do your own business, to try to start a business, to try to do something for yourself. You know what I mean? Especially when you're in the good of doing this, especially in California.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's expensive. You know what I mean?
Like,
But it's a dream. It's possible, man.
yeah, that's someone thought and shit. So the GD can really help you out that much, though?
You open up doors, and I really feel like you don't have to go through the process that they say that you have to go through to obtain it. They got places that you can look up online and you can pay to take the test, which they have history. Pay $60, $80 for every few years to take the test, sign up and go take it. If you made it to the ninth grade, remember when you take the GD test, any portion that you pass, you don't have to retake. Any portion that you fail, you have to retake. So say for instance, it's 5 courses that is GD. You take it the first time, you pass 4 out of 5. And you only have one subject to focus on. Study on that for a little bit. You think you're ready, pay $20, $40 test retesting fee, and go on the next shoot as you can. I shot at it 3 times before I passed it. And I passed it on the 3rd time. I almost passed it all the times that I did. Well, I'm gonna tell you, the first time I took it, I passed it. I passed everything but the math.
That's the hardest subject.
And the essay. And the second time I came and took it, I passed the math, but I failed the essay. And the third time I took it, all I had to do was retake the essay. You know what I mean? Every time once I finished the math, I had to retake that part. I had to take the essay. I got to retake the essay. And like, but it's not that hard. You know what I mean? It's just how you look at it. And what's the determination to get it? My whole determination was I had a brother who was younger than me, and I didn't want to see him graduate high school. I had to come before I did. So he was like the junior in high school. I said, man, I'm studying for my GD. I'm gonna get my GD. I'm gonna get my diploma before he gets it. And I got it. You know what I mean? I started getting my and it's just motivation. When I say I don't have an excuse no more to say, okay, I don't have an education. That's the reason why I should do it. That's the reason why I'm out here in this school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of people use that as a big excuse for themselves to become depressed. Because, you're a big brother, you're a nice brother. But if life don't turn out right for you, the streets will call you in all kind of directions where the money is right there. And you be like, you can be my pimp. They choose, niggas lose. You know what I mean? Like, and you'll find yourself in a whole nother spectrum of life, getting money back, you know what I mean? But not the right way. And if you don't get it right, it won't last long. That's too many ways, brothers get locked up, but it's good. It's okay. And it always happens when they're in the time of their shit and they think they can't be touched. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They come and snatch the fuck up. Like folks ain't playing.
I had the same motivation for my little brother too, but I ended up failing and ended up graduating with forming a couple years ago.
And that's a still give you motivation to go and get yours. You know what I mean? Just because you got his already don't mean that you still can't get yours. And what you moving forward for will be a whole nother reason for yourself. You know what I mean? And somebody gotta be an example, no matter what. It can be a big brother or a little brother. You know what I mean? My little brother is an example of me. He fought at home for ideas. You know what I mean? And so with his knowledge, he gave me the game, and I ended up learning it. You know what I mean? So no matter what, life is designed for us to learn, bro. And it's a process for everything. It's either we know it first, or somebody's gonna teach it to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as we get older, as black men, we still gotta have our there's no excuse for us not having our privilege. There's no excuse for us not being able to handle our responsibilities. Life goes on. You know what I mean? Society don't give a fuck if you got an education or not. So by all means, once you get over that step ladder, of being grown, you gotta come up with a positive plan to make finances for you to live. You know what I mean? If nothing else, for you to survive. And a lot of niggas, you know how shit goes. A lot of niggas become leeches, living off women. A woman will take care of us in California. Easy. Like, that's what they're ready to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For real. Some nigga shit, real nigga shit. If you know how to play the game, all you gotta do is shut the fuck up. You get a lot of bitches that take care of you. Just play the PlayStation. Give me when I get home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Make sure the kids get in the house. They don't get, you know what I mean? They don't, they get, but like you say, they got the trophy niggas at the house, and then on social media they got the niggas that they really want, the niggas that they flirt with. They don't get a trophy nigga to make them niggas mad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
For real.
Hello? No, that was my friend shit. I'm on my phone. Probably another like 10 minutes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Bye.